Akadela. Are we live?
We're live. We're live, people.
Namaste, hello.
Hello, ತಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೆ ಸುಸ್ವಾಗತ. Namaskara. And we are starting the interview now with my funny accent, but we will continue anyway because I'm in this zone. I'm sorry, I'm in this zone. Right? But first I will introduce myself. My name is Vikram. I am somebody. We'll get to know about that later, but who am I is not important. Who this person is right now is extremely important. So, we shall start. Mr. Sudhanva 3. Namaskara.
Namaskara.
Thank you for being part of this wonderful interview.
Thank you.
And thank you for being part of our platform. It gives us immense pleasure and a lot of love.
Yeah.
Like that.
Same.
So now with this situation, sir, and with this interview also starting,
Yeah.
we would love to know a bunch of things about you. Like now I'm coming back into normal accent. Yeah. So tell me how did this all start? How did this photography journey all start?
Dropped out of engineering and then needed to figure out what I wanted to do in life. And Avaga, that's when it started.
Yeah.
And thanks to Christ College and studying media in Christ College, I was exposed to visual communication. Alinda went to Light Life Academy, studied the art and science of photography, and been practicing photography and working as a professional photographer and a filmmaker for the past 9 years.
Great. I mean, so you essentially followed your heart, you followed your passion, something that you really wanted to do and you really liked doing, right? And you went after it completely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But what that was, it took a little time to identify.
Yeah.
Once I identified it, I went after it.
What was this point of time in which this revelation happened that engineering is not what it is? It is something else.
Well, I don't know if it is. I knew it was not engineering when in the fourth semester when I had 4 math papers to
Math people.
I had M1, M2, M3, M4.
All the fours.
Yeah, in one semester to complete, and then that's when I realized. And when I realized that I was not going to clear them,
Yeah.
I was like, "This is not for me."
Not happening, bro. Not happening. Cool. We'll get away from that. So, what happened after M1 through M4? And then there was this revelation that you figured that this wasn't happening for you.
Yeah.
Right? And what did you do in order to find your niche and find what you really like doing and love doing?
After that happened, when I studied in Christ College, it was an arts course.
Right.
We were exposed to different types of media.
Right.
And different types of communication.
Yeah.
And visual communication is something that clicked immediately because it was something, it was a way for me to express who I was.
Yeah.
I was able to visualize things and then capture them using the tool of a camera.
Okay. So that is where it all started. That is where the connection started.
Yeah.
The camera and photography and everything else.
Correct. And then I always liked capturing different. Even I actually started capturing music events. Right? Yeah.
That's because I'm a musician.
So when I started capturing music events, I realized that my pictures were half decent. People really liked them.
Okay.
And it seemed like I could go in this direction and make this a career.
Nice. So over the past 9 years, you've been in this field full time.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So you said you started off with music events. How did that sort of grow? How did that get into filmography, portraiture, architecture?
Sure.
What was that journey like?
So I think the first, this is before the 9 years, right?
Yeah.
Before the 9 years of professional work, but before that, I was a hobbyist.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of people with digital SLRs today will be hobbyists.
Right.
So they like photography, they like to take pictures.
Right.
But a professional is somebody who makes money out of it or survives doing photography.
Mm-hmm.
That transition happened after I studied photography formally.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Until I studied photography formally, whatever monies I was making was like pocket money, and it was not I was also studying Bachelor's of Arts simultaneously.
Okay, so this was a gig that you were doing on the side.
Correct.
While finishing up your studies.
Correct.
Right.
And so at that point, I suppose I was only photographing or documenting what I was seeing around me.
Right.
Be it a music gig or street photography or a bit of wildlife here and there.
Yeah.
All of this was something I was documenting what I was seeing.
Okay.
Only understanding the few technicalities of the camera at that stage. I didn't have insight into how I could modify light,
Right.
or look at light for photography. All that technical knowledge came only after I studied photography formally at Light and Life Academy.
Okay, cool. Couple of questions, right?
Yeah.
You briefly touched upon the fact that you were doing this as a side gig when you were continuing your education.
Yeah.
And for a lot of Gigsy viewers out there who want to follow their passion, right, and who want to make a living out of that, how important do you think a formal education degree is in conjunction with following your passion?
A formal degree is not important. I'll speak very specifically about photography.
Yes, absolutely.
With photography, I believe there's three ways of being successful, so to speak, right?
Yeah.
But you can learn it in a college, like I did. But with the internet, one can learn if one has the drive to do so. One can learn it on a day-to-day basis.
Okay.
It's just that your personality type should be such that you're constantly wanting to learn it.
Yeah.
So you could be self-taught.
Right.
Or the third method is to assist an already existing professional photographer and learn from his or her life, so to speak. Right?
Okay.
How they approach photography.
Right, cool. So you also spoke about Light and Life Academy.
Yes.
Couple of words about what this academy is about, just for people who don't really.
So Light and Life Academy was set up in 2001. It's one of the first photography institutes set up in India, located in Ooty, Nilgiris. Amazing place to learn photography.
What incentive? Brilliant.
So the academy has multiple courses. I completed the postgraduate diploma course.
Okay.
So
it's a proper master's.
Yeah.
For seeing. Yeah.
Correct.
Okay.
They have multiple courses, and then I completed that. I also have been teaching at Light and Life for about 7 years now.
He's a teacher. Also.
Yeah. I'm grateful the academy gave me an opportunity to teach. So it's a premier institute set up by Iqbal Mohammed and Anuradha Iqbal. They're an amazing couple who really thought about the future of photography in India and set up an institute, because at that point when they set it up, there was nothing in the country.
Right.
And if one wanted to study photography, one needed to go abroad. They brought the same sort of quality to India, and now there are over 100 postgraduate diploma holders from Light and Life Academy. Well over 100.
Wow. Over a period of 17, 18 years now.
Yeah.
That's great. I mean, I think it's awesome that, hey, Kiko, do we want to show Kiko?
Yeah, we can show.
How do you want to show Kiko?
Hi.
This is Kiko. Kiko is a very happy, friendly little dog. Friendly doggy. Yeah, okay, fine. Kiko, this is not about you. This is about your dad. So we'll talk about Sudhanva. We'll continue. Right. This was a nice distraction, a little bit of a cut from the flow, but we'll continue. Yeah. So more than 100 people, right, over 17 and 18 years, and I think that number is only going to increase now. I mean, with a lot of these creative forces coming through and a lot of millennials taking up their passion, I think institutions like this will only help in fostering that creativity. Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So that brings me to a very related question.
Yeah.
I mean, you know about Gigsy.
Yes, of
Right?
course.
You met with the people at Gigsy.
Amazing platform.
Yeah. So
check it out.
What do you think is working with respect to Gigsy? I mean, what about you? What about Gigsy actually ticked, a bulb for you, basically?
The moment I learned that this platform can be a place where I can interact with people who are interested in photography, and I can give them my 2 cents.
Yeah.
In terms of either help them not make the mistakes I made, or learn a couple of good practices. I thought that platform is something that I can contribute to.
Right.
And through that platform, meet people who are genuinely interested in photography, right? And who are possibly trying to understand if they can make it their career.
Right.
So I'll put Kiko down because she's a bit heavy.
Yeah.
Say bye, Kiko.
Bye, Kiko.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what I was hoping to achieve by signing up on Gigsy as a mentor, as a creator mentor.
Yeah. Okay. So, do you think a platform like this is generally going to be helpful for all forms of creativity, where this engagement happens and there's this focused audience and all of that?
Without a doubt, right? I have no doubt in my mind that this platform will work because, when I was trying to learn photography myself, this is before Light and Life Academy.
Yeah.
If I had insight into what the life of a creator is, no matter what the type of creation, it's sort of, I feel like it gives people a bit of a reality check.
Right. So it's essentially about taking people who are interested in your work through your journey, right?
Yeah. And I mean, I personally would have liked to get that reality check myself. When I was back then. What that does is it also helps you understand what all you need to do in order to achieve quote unquote success, right? So yeah, I think that's what people will gain from this. And dude, with the internet, it's amazing, right?
Yeah, I mean, everything is online, man.
It's amazing that you get an insight into somebody's life, into their work, into their workflow, and things like that. Which if you needed to do 10 years ago, you couldn't have done.
There was no opportunity, basically.
So I'm really glad Gigsy has come. It exists today.
I am also glad. I think we are in this mode of gladness in general. We are Gladys. We are Gladys Stones. I don't even know if a person like that exists. Somehow there is this background of Gladys Stones, like an old British lady.
Right.
Okay, fine. But continuing this freewheeling chat. So tell me something. Any particular experiences that you went through in this 9-year period until now that gave you revelations about, hey, this is much bigger than what I thought it would be. This is so cool. Or, I'm not just a photographer. I can also be a filmmaker. I can also be someone who goes into specific subjects like architecture, like portraiture, and start taking snaps and all of that. Some moment that sort of gave you that impetus, maybe validation from somebody, or some moment of inspiration, basically.
I think there have been, obviously, in the past 9 years, there have been multiple such moments. Right? I think a validation for me and my family, because this was such a alternate path to take. Was when my pictures got published in magazines for the first time.
Wow. Okay. Which magazines?
a whole bunch of them. Inside, Outside, Forbes.
Forbes.
Yeah, Forbes, and there's a bunch of magazines, man. Travel magazines, things like that. Music magazine.
Oh, okay.
So when your pictures get published in that, and you have a byline, it says photographs by so and so.
Right.
That is validation for both my family and me.
Okay. Cool.
So apart from that, there have been multiple opportunities where I've managed to collaborate with different people.
Okay. Any specific people that really ticked something in you?
Yeah, this filmmaker from New York. They run this production called Salty Feature Films. They got in touch with us, and they when I say us, I mean I was running a video production house a couple of years ago. Anyway, I'll get to that. They got in touch with us, and they said, we want you to shoot a small section of a film, a documentary film that we are making. Right? The documentary film they were making is called Dishonesty. It's on Netflix right now.
Wow. Okay. What is it about?
It's about honesty and dishonesty.
Wow. Okay. So, I mean, there's so many names these days. I don't even know if the topic actually coincides with what is actually happening there. So
fair point.
Yeah.
So they wanted us to go to this school in Tamil Nadu.
Okay.
And shoot the school where the school was practicing honesty by having an honesty shop in the school. So, I mean, check out the documentary. It's on Netflix and
cool. Dishonesty, people. This
Dishonesty.
documentary on Netflix. If you have an account and if you subscribe to Netflix, can you take a look? And also subscribe to Gigsy. Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, during that period, I got to interact with these filmmakers from New York who happened to find me through the internet. Right, and
so there's more validation that the internet is helping. Obviously,
the internet is amazing.
Beyond him. Yeah. Okay, people. By the way, if you've seen my hand going like that, that's because Kiko is right next to me, and I've been petting her, and she refuses to go away. I have an alternative occupation. Dog massager. Yeah. Whatever.
Yeah, so there have been multiple such instances of validation, if you want to call it, or things that have really made me happy that I'm doing what I'm doing.
Right.
Like I spent 2 months in Kutch teaching photography to NGOs in Kutch so they could document their work better.
Right.
So these are the kind of things that have made me happy. Or the latest project that I just completed, like in the middle of last year, was.
It was about to take my keys.
Yeah.
What happened? Not giving you my key. Sorry. Kiko is not getting my key. Sorry, bro.
No,
I had to make that pun.
It's cool.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah. So, the latest one was I took pictures of the people who run the Nilgiri Mountain Railway. The Nilgiri Mountain Railway is over 100 years old.
Right.
I think it's about 125 years old or something.
Wow.
Probably
one of the oldest.
Yeah. Steam engine, still running from Metupalayam all the way to Uri.
Yeah.
So they're still keeping it running. Very old technology. Right? So yeah, there have been like 4 generations of people who have learned how to run this beautiful machinery.
Right.
And keep it running.
Right.
They have to overhaul it every day. Like we get our car serviced for months in 5,000 kilometers.
Yeah.
They have to overhaul it every day.
And they still managed to keep it running.
So anyway, so Google Earth got in touch with me and I did this project for Google Earth.
Okay.
And the pictures are up on Google Earth. If you look up Nilgiri Mountain Railway on Google Earth, you will get a link to this. So inside information into who the people are who are running Nilgiri Mountain Railway.
Brilliant. I think that's something that we should definitely look up. I'm doing that immediately after the interview is done. Maybe half an hour later, just getting a cup of coffee, after this 30 minutes later. So I think that should help. Yeah, okay. So, inspirations. 2-3 names that have really inspired you to take up photography and sort of reinvent yourself.
Take up photography, huh?
Yeah.
Take up photography. I was always interested in wildlife photography from the start, nature and wildlife. So Steve Winters is somebody that that was a truly big inspiration in my life.
Yeah.
This Franz Lanting was also an amazing. Both these photographers are just award-winning, like top-notch wildlife photographers.
Yeah.
There's of course Steve McCurry, who's an amazing documentary photographer. His work is, all of their work is beautiful. Apart
It's
from
a very Indian-inspired name.
Sorry?
McCurry.
McCurry.
Sounds like a McDonald's thing almost, you know. Please don't.
Please don't mind.
Yeah, don't.
No, yeah, this comic relief is very important.
McFlurry. McCurry. I can so see a McCurry coming out in McDonald's, man. Good lord. That's patented, trademark with me, right? You ever do that? I'm getting $2 for every sale. McCurry.
Yeah, whatever he said.
Yeah.
Yeah, so of course, the moment I learned of Iqbal Mohammed, who's also my mentor, and of course, none of these people that I mentioned before I have interacted with.
Yeah.
But Iqbal was somebody I could interact with, and I did interact with, and I've continued to do so. His work is again something that inspired me.
Right.
Apart from photographers, there's always other people who inspire me, like what Jane Goodall has been doing.
Oh yeah,
all her life.
I read about her during high school.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, crazy. The chimpanzee.
Yeah. Yes.
Sorry, I mean with all due respect.
Yeah. Chimpanzee lady sounds about right.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
I'm sure she doesn't mind.
Yeah.
So there are people like that who inspired me because they spend their whole life doing something.
Yeah.
And yet they are still humble enough to tell you that they are students of whatever. So I mean, I only try to emulate such things.
See, Pa, there is humility in everything. Also, there are a lot of people who want to become creators, right? And given the fact that there is a platform like Gigsy that enables creators and people who are interested in their work to have a focused audience and a focused approach.
Yeah.
People who are creators out there, people who are creatives, please reach out to the folks at Gigsy. You can do that at www.gigsy.in/my-account. Very simple. Social login is enabled as well. So if you have a Google account, it's just about clicking on Google. If you have a Facebook account, it's just about clicking on Facebook. Or if you have an email address, you don't want to do social login, register. Google, Facebook, register. Gigsy.in/my-account. Yeah. So very quickly, given your journey so far, you were talking about a production house that you already have.
Yeah.
Any work that you would like to share about the production house? What is happening with the production house today? What has the journey been like?
Yeah, the production house is something we started 4 years ago.
Okay.
Unfortunately I can't remember the date.
Yeah.
What it did was again we always wanted to try and see how we can create an identity, a brand identity for us, and also try and see we can nurture more people in the line that we are going, right? So get people to work as assistants before, and then eventually assistants become their own. They go
into their own streams. Yeah.
So of course that was not the objective. The objective was to come together and handle larger projects. So film projects and video projects are always a team effort.
Right.
Very rarely do individuals manage to create video content.
Yeah.
From the start all the way to the end. Right? I haven't seen very many people who can do that.
Okay.
So it's always a team effort because there's different parts to filmmaking that are handled by different people.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
I was trained as a photographer.
Yeah.
But in my undergrad, had fiddled around with cameras enough to figure out cinematography.
Right.
We should
tell her.
Uma.
Kindly stop washing vessels because it is creating noise. Okay.
Sorry. Sorry for the.
That's okay. There are vehicles on the road as well, so you would have heard. And then you will start hearing.
So sorry, we were talking about the video production.
House, yes.
So that's why we started the video production house because we needed people with different skill sets to come together to make films, right?
So how does one get to be part of this video production house? Let's say if I'm an amateur photographer and I want to learn the tricks of the trade by being part of this video production house, maybe go on an assignment also. How do people get in touch?
So, I mean, with our production house at the moment, we don't have any openings or any such thing.
Okay.
But if anybody wants to join, and there are hundreds of video production houses all over the country,
right?
And all over the world.
If
all you have to do is, if you have no skill set, right? If you don't know any cinematography or editing or sound design, if you don't know any of these things, you could still go and start working as a intern, because then you will understand what part of the video production do you want to learn, right? Which skill set do you want to acquire, and then follow that. Make that your niche, basically. Follow it and specialize in it. Because if you specialize in whatever area, there will be value for what work you do.
Absolutely. So 2.5 more minutes on the clock. We have some
is that all?
Yeah.
Man, I feel like we can go on for.
Yeah, man. I just keep talking. There's so much to share, so much to learn. So, tell me something. You will be planning to take workshops.
Yes.
Through Gigsy.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
What very briefly? What do you intend to do during these workshops?
See, workshops are really short times to teach a lot of things. So what I intend to do is break photography down into smaller consumable chunks. That I could do them in a sequential order. In the sense, you do workshop 1, 2, 3, 4, and by 4 workshops you'll have the intro to digital photography completed. That sort of thing.
Right. And this can be for anyone, any layman, right?
Absolutely.
Or laywoman who walks in.
I intend to start from scratch.
Great. So this will actually work for any person, basically, right? Doesn't necessarily have to be for people who are already doing photography. Even if you haven't held a camera in your life, which I really will not believe, because come on, we're in 2019 now, and you should be holding cameras by now, at least through your cell phone. So if you want to learn from the real deal, if you want to learn from people who've gone through that experience, you can register for these workshops that will happen sometime in the month of February, right? This dude will be taking them, and it'll be awesome. No doubts about it. So, Sudhanva, how did you feel during the interview?
It was exciting, man. It's exciting to.
Ooh, I'm getting licked by the dog.
It's exciting to be part of Gigsy and Gigsy's journey.
We look forward to having you as an Uber photographer, creator. I didn't mean that to cabs. Like an envelope.
You think very laterally.
It's like this good lateral perpendicular parallel equal live long and prosper. So thank you, Sudhanva, for
Thank you.
making time to do this interview. I think it was very enriching for idiots like me who don't even understand photography. I think I got a few cues. So just imagine what the workshop can do. Yeah. So we look forward to seeing you all. Catch you soon and have a great time. Ciao.